Okay, so I was interrupted because the guy from the hostel came in to like change some sheets. Up until now I was alone in this 3-person room, like cabin little thingy. It's very cute. It looks like Peter Pan stuff, like so wooden and nice. So yeah, I'm in Indonesia now by the way. And what you hear in the back is like the mosque, like it goes on at least 5 times a day, and like at 5 o'clock in the morning for an hour long, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but we'll get used to it, whatever. And like here on Gili T, you don't have like any like transport such as like motorcycles or cars or whatever, so it's or like horse rides or bikes. So like sometimes you hear tick 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 because all of the horses have bells around, so it feels a bit like Christmassy, which is nice. Anywho, so after Thailand, I went to Malaysia, and I arrived in Kuala Lumpur, the capital city. I personally think that Kuala Lumpur is a lot more developed than Bangkok, like not comparable, but people disagree with me obviously, but that's my opinion. When I got there, I slept at Stefan's house, which is a friend of my parents, like through MSF, which was very nice. And when I got there, there was also another girl, Salma. She is Moroccan but has been raised in in Belgium, sorry, but the French-speaking part of Belgium, so it was like a French house. And Stefan is also Belgium, French-speaking house, sorry. But yeah, it was very, very interesting. I spent there 2 nights, and I spent most of my time with her. She's Muslim, but she has only started wearing the veil after, like, since this year, basically, 2015. And her sister and her mom don't wear it, and she used to, like, wear short dresses and, like, straighten her hair, and obviously we have very different views on different things, because like she's a Muslim and I'm not, like I'm a proper atheist. But it was very, very interesting. Like I think it was one of the best conversations I had religion wise. I learned a lot of things because I realized I was pretty ignorant about like the Muslim culture. Like I've read books about it, like stuff about how women in Kabul, for example, are like completely diminished and like suppressed, or like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. But she explained to me that you have different like ranks within the Islam, not really ranks, but like different forms of applying the Islam. Like obviously you have ISIS that fucked it up for most Muslims, but like not all streams or like ranks or whatever are meant to suppress women. So like granted in Kabul, like women that have to wear burqas, yes, they're being suppressed by the men. But she decided to wear the veil. It was her decision. It was her way of like respecting the Quran, respecting her religion. And she was telling me that even like she had a hard time, like her family is Muslim but they don't wear the veil, and she was seen, like she was judged for starting to wear, like to start wearing the veil. So like there was no like man or like power above involved except for God. But yeah, it was just, I really enjoyed those 2 days with her, because like of both sides there was no judging, no nothing. We're just like very interested in each other's like stories and each other's like points of views. We didn't fight or anything. It was very, very chilled. We spent most of the time walking around in malls eating donuts, because like Kuala Lumpur has like 25 malls in like that city, which I find ridiculous because it's such a waste of money, and all of the malls are basically the same. So but anyway, so Malaysia is a very Muslim country as well. We went to the mosque together, Salma and I had to wear like full on like head scarf and like purple dress. So like all of the tourists were in purple dresses. As she was a Muslim, she got a dark purple dress, which was good because like that let me recognize her like when we were walking around, because otherwise it was just like purple floating bodies everywhere. And then there was this one part where it was like no non-Muslims allowed, so I had to wait outside, which I thought was a bit weird, but yeah, it was fine. So we walked around quite a lot, and yeah, in the evening we met up with a friend of Stefan's. We had some good food. They really have good food. And then we went to the towers, like the famous towers, which I didn't find very, very impressive. They're just very tall. But yeah, something happened then. Like we were sitting on the, like on a little like wall thing, and one of the security guys, like, to take a picture, and one of the security guys was like, "Oh, don't stand." And we're like, "Yeah, we're not going to stand, or we're just sitting." But Stefan reacted a bit like, "Oh, go away." So he got, like, the security guy got really pissed off, and then he was like, "Yeah, you foreigners, go back to your country, you're in Malaysia now, blah, blah, blah." It was like a proper act of racism, and I was shocked at the fact that I wasn't even shocked by this scenario, but Selma was really shocked. She was like, "I can't believe, like, I know racism exists, but I've never seen it this bad against white people, blah, blah, blah." So, yeah, it was an interesting episode, let's put it that way, but yeah, it just shows how this world is, yeah, it's a special world we live in. Anyway, so Kuala Lumpur, didn't do much except, like, walk around. It's not my kind of city, it's too busy, like, tons of embouteillage, so, like, of traffic jams, like, unbelievable, so many cars, and yeah, it's a bit, I've never been to Singapore, but I have the feeling that Malaysia, like Kuala Lumpur, tries to be like Singapore, but kind of fails at it. So, like, for example, they have signs everywhere that say, like, "Oh, you're not allowed to smoke here. If you smoke here, you get a fine of, like, 200 million, whatever." And then, but then you look aside, and then you still see people smoking. So they don't really apply the rules. Just like with the metro, it was like, "This is a coach for women only," which we were like, "Oh, that's good." But then we got in, and it was like full with men, so we're like, well. And then they also had, like, stickers saying "no inappropriate behavior," so you weren't allowed to, like, hold hands or kiss your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. So me pretending I was a lesbian in that country was not, like, I didn't do that obviously because I like my life, like, I don't want to die. But yeah, it was interesting to see, like, how different the vibe was compared to Thailand. But I had met a guy in Thailand, and he told me that his girlfriend had been in Malaysia, and that she called him up every day crying because Malaysia was so horrible, and that people, like, would ignore her because she was a woman. And I was like, "Oh, fuck. Oh, bollocks. I'm going to Malaysia, am I going to handle that? Like, I'm going to have to suppress my feminist instincts." But then I got there, and, like, they were super friendly. Like, it's just a different vibe because it's, like, Muslim instead of Buddhistic. But, like, people were very friendly. I haven't had any problems, so I can't complain. So, yeah, it's very interesting. It was very warm, and then you had some tropical rain sometimes, which was awesome. So, yeah, that was Kuala Lumpur. For the next one, which I'm going to record now as well, because I'm being efficient, I went from Kuala Lumpur to Lumut by bus, which was supposed to take 2 hours, but it took 5.5 hours without stops. So it was like almost peeing my pants. And then, yeah, I got to Lumut. Thankfully, Lockie was still there to pick me up to bring me to Marina Island. So I went there to do Workaway. Workaway is a sort of, like, system that you go online and you pay a fee for 2 years, which allows you to see all the hosts, and you put up your own profile. So hosts can contact you, and you can contact hosts, and you work for them. In exchange, you get shelter, like you get a bed and you get food, which I think is a great deal. So this project was building a 24-meter long sailboat and, like, reconstructing everything inside, and it was very, very interesting. But that's for the next one. By the way, like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but, like, my nose is fully peeling. I went to the beach 2 days ago with some British guys, and it was awesome. Like, we had a lot of fun, and then after that we went to a pool party. But I did put sunscreen on. It was the first time in my whole trip that I actually put sunscreen on. But we got so burnt. Like, one of the British guys, like, woke up with a swollen face and, like bubbles everywhere. I felt sorry for him though. But yeah, I was laughing, but now my nose is peeling off, so I apologize for that. Anywho, I will be back soon. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm trying not, like, it's very difficult to, like, compress so many things in a short video without, like, making it too long. But yeah, I'm doing my best, and I'm obviously not professional at this, so I can't be bothered with editing it and stuff like that, which I'm very sorry about. So please bear with me. This is just a way for me to like communicate to many people at the same time what I've done instead of like doing it individually. Yeah. Anyway, goodbye.